Okay, welcome to Pittsburgh Chatter, where I do interviews where I want, whenever I want, with who I want. And today I got a special guest. It's Chi Ilochi, right?
Yes.
Okay, I got it. Perfect. Okay, okay. So how you doing today, first of all?
Pretty good. Pretty good.
Okay,
How about yourself?
I'm good. I'm good.
It's
So,
good.
like I said before we started, I thought you were going to be extremely busy, and then I asked you to come in for the interview. You was like, "Oh yeah, I could come in tomorrow." I was like, "All right, this is
Yeah,
perfect."
to make it happen, you got to get on Pittsburgh Chatter. I was like, just happy to get in like the slot. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem, definitely. So let's start from the beginning with where you grew up and where you're from.
Oh, wow. I grew up on the north side of Pittsburgh.
Mhm.
Was always had a passion for fashion. I'm pretty introverted, so it was just a way for me to express myself.
Mhm.
If you see some of the way I style myself and clients, it's pretty bold and vibrant and eclectic. And that was just a way of me communicating who I was without me having to say anything. And I met a friend my freshman year of high school. I attended Perry High School, who was a visual artist, and we kind of meshed in that regard. And he inspired me to just give it all I had and just see what could happen with something I'm passionate about. And if it weren't for him, I wouldn't be sitting with you today. He unfortunately committed suicide when I was about 17, so shortly after we graduated. But if it weren't for him and just, having someone believe in you when you can't believe in yourself, I wouldn't be sitting here, and I don't believe I would have been graced to experience certain things I have along my journey. So
Okay, rest in peace.
thank you.
Sorry to hear that. All right, so in the beginning, like around this time, like when you're a kid, or are you already having style and swag from the beginning, or is this something that came over time?
Oh wow. That's a good question. I wonder if it is something that came over time because you can't really experience yourself from other people's perspective.
Hmm.
In hindsight, maybe some of the outfits were a little bit out there. I was like, what are you wearing? But
Looking back on it, though,
right,
at the time, it might not have been so out of pocket, though.
right. But fortunately, I guess I stuck to it and just kind of realized in order to be authentic, you don't have to be out of the box. You just have to do what's true to you. So some outfits were a hard pass. They were definitely a hard pass, but some of them were true to who I am. So I think I just kind of held on to that along the way.
Okay, so all right, what about your parents? What was like your childhood like?
Child.
Childhood, parents, like all of that.
um, I'm the youngest of 10 siblings.
Wow,
Yeah.
wow. Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So there wasn't excuse me, all 10 in the house at the same time.
Oh, okay,
So
okay, okay.
that's, kind of a breather.
What's the breakdown? How many brothers? How many sisters?
Six sisters, three brothers.
Okay.
So that was interesting. There was always someone in the house. It was kind of like a space where I was always creative because I was introverted. I had been going through some things in school where it wasn't really, cool to be different or an artist as it is now. So I spent a lot of my time alone, just creating or drawing or painting something. So childhood wasn't bad, but I wish I could have done more for my younger self now that I'm an adult, but hindsight is in 2020, so I can't complain.
Okay, so in that household, how many? I'm sorry. No. I'm sorry. I apologize.
You're fine.
So how many? All right. So how is it working? That you have both parents in the household,
Yes.
and then how many are there and how many aren't?
Hmm. Okay, so I have to saw Maria. The most in the house at one time was four.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
four. My parents have been married for like 30 plus years, so they were always there. Thank you. Um, but it was unique. It was interesting. You can't necessarily
But
be
four
bored.
is not that bad. When you said 10, you made it seem as if like there was 10 in the household all the time.
But that's a lot of people at
That would be
family.
chaotic.
That's a lot of people at family reunions. You got to think about it
True.
like that, like
True.
birthdays, and
Yeah.
that's a
Birthdays.
lot of personality.
Okay. Okay. So you already talked about it a little bit as some of the hobbies you were interested around this time. You said you were painting.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I was in to visual art,
Mhm.
origami.
Oh my, I haven't heard that in so long.
Yeah,
Yeah,
or
I remember a lot of people that used to do origami.
origami, like different kind of like arts and crafts. it was kind of all over the place. And when I think of my passions when I was younger and how they kind of play a role into now, because that was going to be my thing. You couldn't tell me when I was a kid that I wasn't going to have a cartoon with the satire of American Dad and the animation style of Boondocks. You couldn't tell me that's what I was. I just knew that's what I was going to do. Um, I applied to Kappa my eighth grade year, did the whole portfolio thing and stuff like that, and I didn't get in. But in that process, I won this award for writing. So it was kind of like in fashion and writing, kind of like intertwined. And I think it was like a blessing in disguise.
Okay. From what it make it seem like you have a lot of talents, a lot, a lot. All
Oh,
right, so
thank
you've
you.
already kind of dabbled into the schools that you attended. So like I'm guessing you already said you went to Kappa, correct?
No, I didn't get in.
All right, well let's just start at the beginning. So let's all right. No, we'll come back to that. All right, so elementary.
Elementary, I went to Northview
Mhm.
Elementary, and there was a school called Cardinal Wright. I don't know if you remember that.
I've never heard of that.
Yeah, it was like a Catholic school.
Okay, okay. That's
And
probably why then, yeah.
my early years, like kindergarten and stuff, I went to Urban League.
Urban League. Okay. And
Yeah.
then middle school and high school. You
Middle
said
school,
Perry.
middle
High
school, I
school.
went to Starrett,
Stared. Okay, I've heard of
and high
Stared.
school, I went to Perry.
Okay, okay. So what was Perry like?
Perry wasn't what people thought it was.
Well, I didn't say anything.
I just
don't
wanted
have
you to
no problems
know
with Perry.
it wasn't what people thought it was. I met some great people there. I had great teachers. It was. I feel like it was a high school experience. Like with any high school, there's gonna be some drama. There's gonna be some people fighting and stuff
Mm.
like that. There was a lot of talent in there, so it was cool for me.
So you didn't no sports, none.
I did tennis for a little
Tennis.
bit. I did tennis.
Were you good?
I was okay.
Okay.
I was okay. I was okay. I wasn't the best, but
Mm.
I did that about my junior year.
But that's not something you were giving your all to anyway.
No.
Right? Okay, so then that's
So right.
that's understandable then.
Yeah,
Okay, so were you popular? Would you say you were popular?
not at all.
Okay, you say you're an introvert, so I
Not
guess
at
that
all.
makes sense. So you friends.
I had like friends more so in high school than
Mm,
middle and like elementary. I was very shy, and within that kind of comes being an outcast. So
true, true. Okay.
I just kind of adapted.
All right. So there's a lot to talk about when it comes to like what you do, and I'm kind of confused because I see a blog that's a magazine, or is it a blog?
It's a blog, but there is a magazine.
Okay, and
Yeah.
then I'm seeing that you're a stylist,
Yeah,
and then I'm seeing that you're giving scholarships. So there's just like
you give me
there's
too
a
much
bunch
credit.
here. So like, all right. So just
Thank you.
explain it what it is that you actually do, like everything you have your hands in.
Okay. Well, I'm a fashion stylist and a fashion blogger,
Okay.
and I love to do philanthropic work, just giving back to the community in some kind of regard. Uh, I think that's where I'll leave it. I think that's where
All
I'll
right.
leave
So
it.
where did you? So you went to college where?
I went to CCAC
CCAC.
for a
Okay.
little bit, and I remember being in class and just in my notebook writing blog features because the blog features
From the beginning.
the blog features have been around since 2018. So I would of course do my work, but I was like, this is not, what I'm really like passionate about. This isn't what I want to do. So when I finished my work, I would be writing blog features or connecting with people in my class, like, hey, I have this blog. I would love to, tell people about what you do. Fortunately, they were receptive to it. And I wasn't as consistent back then. It was just something I loved. Eventually,
So it was more of a hobby,
yeah,
and
yeah,
then it became like a serious.
right,
Okay.
yeah,
Got you.
yeah.
All right. So how does the magazine work and the blog work? Like you just go. Like how do you choose people? No, I'm just curious because you know what I'm saying. I just gotta know.
I try to look where I try to make any selection off of what I don't see. There's so many people doing amazing things who don't get the credit.
And that's what I was about to say. You support a lot of people, like a lot, and I'd be like, wow, they would have never
you.
like nobody
Thank
would
you.
have ever spoke on them if it wasn't for you. Like I'm just being real.
No, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
It bothers me honestly because it's like, why do we wait so long to give people their flowers when you have a celebrity or you have greatness right in front of you? Could you even recognize it?
Mm.
And I don't want to make that mistake of not supporting someone or just telling them, hey, you're doing it, you're killing it out here, and giving them their flowers when you can. It doesn't
Mm.
take anything from you, you know.
That look like you did it for me, so I seen it, I was like, okay, bet.
I
Say
had
less, because
to think of all you do for everyone. You do a lot for a lot
I
of people.
told you I was going to reciprocate it, and then I brought you on. I had to. And you was like, oh no, no, no. I was like, nah, it ain't even like that. You don't understand. You just don't understand, because like the support isn't like, it isn't really there. Like
Mm-hmm.
it just really isn't there, and I don't understand why. But at the like, not even for me. Like I'm not going to say I don't get support. You see, I get a little bit of support, but I
Mm-hmm.
just know a lot of people that don't get like none, and I kind of feel bad for them. That's why I was like, I want to bring everybody on, but it's just like you can't bring everybody on.
Right.
Like you
Yeah.
just can't, because like not
Mm-hmm.
everybody's good on camera. Not everyone can talk. Like you came in here, you know what you want to say. You're good. So
Thank
like
you.
not a lot of people can do that though.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, how do you monetize this?
How do you monetize it?
Mm-hmm.
Well, it in a few ways. I like
Mm-hmm.
to have like multiple streams, as like cliche as that sounds,
Mm-hmm.
but styling itself is my bread and butter.
Mm-hmm.
Styling, some people do book like blog features for like press for their product, or if they want to be interviewed, or if they
Like
cons-
full interviews.
yeah, if they
Okay.
consult me to style something. So if they
Oh,
have like a
okay.
clothing brand, they're like, hey, can you style this piece and do a write up on it, about my next collection or my current collection. The magazine as well, the actual magazine, which is like it's like a digital kind of thing, working on getting it print
Which
as
is
well.
but that's the best way to go, because you don't see a lot of people printing anymore, do you? Really?
Not as much as you used to.
But you'll definitely somebody that will click on a link and then go through it
So
though.
true. We spend a lot of our time on our phones.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
but it will. I get it though, having the actual copy though.
It just it's a different
No,
feeling.
no, I understand exactly. I
Yeah.
understand. So, is it like a weekly thing, a monthly thing? What's the timing on it?
The the magazine is seasonal.
Mm.
It's what I've been trying to do. I have a summer issue coming out next Thursday, because next Thursday is the last day of summer.
Mm.
But it's sometimes it's like spring, sometimes it's summer. I've yet to do a winter edition.
Mm.
I want to pace myself, but it's usually seasonal.
Okay. Okay. That makes sense to be seasonal. All right. So when it comes to styling, you're styling models for like events, or you're just styling people for photo shoots, like, or all of it?
All of it.
Okay. So how does that work? And what's the biggest event or biggest thing that you say you've done?
Hmm. Brand wise was working with Reebok, and just in the industry was Fashion Week.
One more time.
Reebok.
Reebok. Why? I'm not understanding why you're saying that so lightly.
Oh,
Is that not a big thing?
no, it is. It is.
But you're not making it seem as if though it is.
I You making me nervous. I
Reebok.
think
She said Reebok.
I
Oh, that's Reebok. Like that's crazy. Like
no, I appreciate
that's one
that.
of the biggest brands.
No, I appreciate that was a blessing. It was this incredible woman named Nadine Ortiz who really just helped me with it and the proposal, and just we just formed a great relationship, and it wouldn't have happened without her.
Okay, what up locally? What's the
Locally,
biggest?
hmm, locally a big thing.
Mm.
I'm really
I mean, you can name some of the people you worked with.
name some of the people. So does this apply to like creatives, brands, or
Whatever, whichever you
well,
feel.
this a big thing.
Mhm.
We're gonna take a moment.
All right, no, no, no. I
For
appreciate you.
real,
Thank you, thank you, thank
seriously.
you.
Um, I was able to work with Hardy, Martell Hardy. He has his own really like artistic collective that's really doing amazing things. I really hope you guys check it out. Working with him has been an honor. Gabrielle Johnson, Katera Moore, she's runs a nonprofit called Treated Development. Brand wise, Rebel Bread, this is recent.
Mhm.
He's such a beautiful spirit, and Nathan is his name. And this is recent. We had recently just had a meeting, so that's been like pretty cool. Um, Style Week Pittsburgh. that was like my first kind of run-in
You know all these people.
in the
Golly.
city, in the city to be like to do styling. That was when I was really kind of getting my feet wet. So very appreciative of them and their help. Melissa Sade Charles, she's a designer. She's who I've been working with recently, and I think
How old are you?
I'm 22.
You're 22 doing all of this?
Yeah.
Golly, I thought that's
You
ridiculous.
thought
All
I
right,
was older?
proceed. Because you're giving all these names and all these connections you've made. How long have you been doing this?
I've been styling since I've had a passion for fashion since 7. Took fashion kind of seriously at 14 and started Styling by Chi officially in 2017.
Oh, so it's okay. All right. Well, if you start in 2017, I guess you would meet all these people because it's just another name after another name. Then you know their business. That's crazy. I don't know how you remember all of that.
You have to. There's certain souls that you can't forget. Certain people doing things that you can never forget. You owe it to yourself to remember.
Okay. So the people. All right. So when you've done photo shoots, like, do you remember some of those people you've worked with? Like the
Absolutely.
camera people. Okay.
Absolutely.
What are some of the most popular people that you? Because I guess you could say that you styled. Now we could talk about like that you styled.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Models I've styled.
Mm-hmm.
Nova J. She's incredible. We did an all white look photograph by Diamond Jewel, whom I love. She's really like a sister. She's an incredible talent. Natalie Lasik, she's a really good friend of mine, and she helped me style for Point Park. Just she kind of set that really kind of alley ooped, as they say. It's fitting because he got the jersey on. I don't know if he's a alley ooper, but
that was corny. But go ahead.
I tried. Erin Mykich, I hope I'm not mispronouncing her name. Working with her was like incredible. It's always great to work with creatives and models that remind you why you started.
So do they give you feedback, or you kind of just take the reins and just do what you want to do, and you're just like, no, I got this?
Feedback is welcome, because even if
is it needed?
Yes, it is. Even if I've been doing something for years, I don't know everything. So if there's a suggestion, you're like, hey, I don't like this. Maybe you should try this. I'm going to listen to you.
But if you don't like the suggestion?
I'll communicate that.
Okay. All right. Hey, you leave no openings. Okay. All right. So you Styling by Chi Day. What
Styling by Chi Day?
Chi. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry.
You're
Styling
fine.
by Chi. Okay. So is that your birthday, or is that an actual day that you have?
No, it's an actual day.
Okay. How did you get that?
I don't know. I really don't know. There's like the proclamation that they give and stuff like that. And when I had received the proclamation from the mayor's office, it was like during COVID. So they mailed it. You didn't have the in-person kind of thing. But when I read it, it was like everything in there that I didn't say.
So is it like an award?
No, I don't even know if you could call it I would say it's an honor. I don't even really know how to describe it, but they were very in-depth with what they included in the proclamation.
So what happens on that day? Is it like a celebration you get, or like
this year it's definitely something I curate. So it's not necessarily something the mayor's office does. It's if I want to do something community based or like a fashion show or something. But this year I wanted to rest. So it's just a day for me to chill.
Well, having your own day, that's like 2 birthdays, kind of.
Yeah.
No, it really is. It's like another day that you get.
Yeah, that's something to get used to. I'm still trying to process it.
Yeah, so I guess it just passed. Oh no, it doesn't start until next year.
It just passed.
Okay, so
August
it did
13th.
just pass.
Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. All right, so this style week thing, I had posted it because my mom was on it.
And mom was on it.
My mom was on it, and then I had
congratulations, mom.
Yeah. No. She already knows, but she doesn't need any more awards.
I respect it.
She's huge. Trying to follow her up is ridiculous. But all right.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So, but I didn't realize you were on it until you posted. I don't know why I didn't. Like, I'm sorry. I just wasn't
fine.
Because I had followed you on Instagram. So, yeah. And then I see you post. I was like, oh, you're on it too. I was like, that's crazy. So explain what Style Week in Pittsburgh actually is.
So Style Week is really just wow, it's just a. I think it's really a collective for Black entrepreneurs and creatives to just be celebrated and to have that moment. Founded by Wadria Taylor, she does like fashion shows, like an award show like every year. That's really just I really it's really just celebrating people putting in their work and just giving them the space to come together and thrive in
And
that
she
regard.
does this every year, or is this
Every year,
since when? Do you know when it started?
I don't want to put the wrong year. Uh, it's been a while. It's every year, but it wasn't last year or the past two, if I'm not
Because of
mistaken,
COVID,
because
I'm
of COVID.
guessing. Okay.
Yeah. Hmm.
Okay. So, okay. So you like, how did it make you feel when you won that? Was it like, or are you at the point where if you've just done so much and got so many awards, it's just not like that big of a deal to you? Or every time it happens, it's like a new joy?
Every time it's humbling. Every time it's unexpected.
Because I've seen the post and there's multiple people in like some categories, but in stylist, you're the only person there.
That was a. I didn't know that's what I won until I got there and I looked in the program. So they didn't tell me initially. They were like, I received an email like, "Hey, you're going to be an honoree." When I got in person, I was like, "Oh, but they didn't tell me it was stylist of the year or anything." So I'd found out there, and I was
Because like
like,
you
"Wow."
stand out of everybody because you're literally. I mean, there's a couple other categories, but
Hmm.
the main one, you're only one there. So
Yeah, that
you don't
was.
seem excited though. Is this just you? Like you're just
It's
calm?
yeah, it's just my. Yeah,
Okay,
I'm just a
okay,
pretty
okay,
calm person.
okay.
Yeah. It's still. I think the way I look at it as one thing always I'm always saying to close friends or family is that I never expected any of this. That's one that really just kind of anytime anything happens, any award, it's all like surprising. It's just a lot to take in because initially when I started, it was just a way for me to express myself. So to get to a point where God deems me worthy of any opportunity with any creative, big or small, it's just like wow. And it's a lot to process. I'm trying to do my best, taking the time to celebrate things.
It's mind boggling to me that you say in the beginning you're not talking to nobody, you're staying away
No,
from. But now it's kind of like you don't have a choice. You
you
kind of
think?
have to. Yeah, don't you? You made all these connections. You you got all these followers, all these people that support you, and you feel like you don't have to talk to them.
No, 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 no. I never really looked at it like that. I never looked at it like not having a
Is it
choice.
because when it's business, you just don't see it as
On
the
the other end
same?
of any business is a person.
True, true,
So it's
true.
it's always really nice to have those connections, but I guess I never really like hyper focus on it. You
Mhm.
know, I'm just like, oh wow, this is a lot of people. You know, this is a lot of like people that are like reading the blog or just want to be styled, and it's like, oh wow. So it's still kind of adjusting.
So, what's the audience like? Do you know like who your core audience is?
My core audience, I definitely say,
Is it more females, more males, both mixture?
it's a mixture.
Okay.
It's definitely a mixture.
Well, I figure since you post kind of yeah,
Definitely a mixture, for sure.
you post both. Okay, so that would make sense. Why? Because that's kind of hard. That's what I'm having a hard time doing right now is getting the female audience.
Hmm.
Like on some of my interviews, they'll tap in, but like I guess they don't want to sit here and talk, watch two guys talk. Like I guess that's just not exciting to them.
If you're funny,
Well,
would
I
you say
think I'm
you
funny.
funny, and that's all that matters. That's all that matters.
That's why I'm about to just have to do my own, like, and do it on my own sometimes. All right, so let's talk about your personal life a little bit here, because you're very successful. You
Thank
work
you.
hard. Like, how does this correlate to your dating life?
I knew that question was gonna come up.
I
I just knew it. Dating wise, it's not really. It doesn't really conflict in that area. I think everything kind of has a time and place, and it's like I just want to make sure I'm never in this space where I'm like I gotta work, I gotta work, I gotta work, I gotta work. Like you got to take time to experience and get to know people and do things. So it doesn't really affect it. No.
what are some of the qualities you look for?
Qualities. It's gonna make me sound shallow, but hopefully above 6 feet. Um, because I myself am tall and
How tall are you?
5'7.5".
Bruh, that's not tall. You can 5'8" would be
That's
fine.
I don't know. Because I think you really gotta weigh all options. What if I want to put heels on?
Is it really that? I don't understand height. Like what? We're not gonna do this. It's okay if that's what 6 feet. So he has to
But
be
no,
6 feet.
if he's a great man and he's like, let's say 5'8", of course I'll put that to the
What if
side.
he's 5'5"?
No, no, because you can't be that great for me. You could be that great for somebody else, but for me, probably not. But on,
I'm sorry for my 5'5" guys out there.
it's all love, seriously. He has to be honest and just emotionally intelligent.
Mhm.
Hopefully he would be in like therapy or just doing some kind of work to just be better for himself, not even for me. Like my ego will want you to be better for me.
Mhm.
Like you got to do this, you got to do this. It's just like I just want you to be okay for yourself. Hardworking, knows how to have a good time. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Personable. I don't know if you've ever seen those memes where it's like, if the guy I'm dating isn't rude to everyone, I don't want him. Do not do that. Like, don't.
So you want them to be very friendly.
Not even necessarily friendly. Just be yourself. Like, just don't
Okay.
be rude. Like, I
Mhm.
don't. That's not attractive. Like,
Mhm.
just why are you being rude
Because then you feel like you can't bring them around certain crowds and
right?
certain people. And
Yeah,
that'd be horrible for someone like you in your business and field. Yeah, okay.
yeah.
Okay.
But just like know how to have a good time. Just be a safe space for me, like away from everything, where it's like I can come back to you and feel safe.
Okay. All right. So that's that, that's a pretty fair list. Like you're not asking for anything like absurd or dramatic.
Because you're a human
Yeah.
for your man, so
And nobody's perfect. Okay.
no.
So let's talk about let's dig a little deeper here. So have you dealt with any serious heartbreak and what did you learn from it?
Sorry.
It's okay.
Yes, I have. What have I learned? You got to meet people where they are. You got to meet people where they are and accept them for who they are.
Mhm.
And accepting a person doesn't mean you're approving their behavior. It's just you're accepting them for what they are. Like, don't be in la la land and fall in love with someone's potential.
You're deflecting here.
You think?
Yes, I'm most definitely positive. I said, how have you dealt with have you dealt with any serious heartbreak?
Yeah.
It- Talk about it. What happened?
Um.
If you don't want to talk about it, it's okay. It's okay.
Um. How do I want to sum it up? I think it was one of those. To not go too in depth, it was just one of those situations where we kind of outgrew each other, and I couldn't let that go. So it was like trying to hold on to the possibility of what can be, if this can work, if we can kind of get back to where we were. And there's a lot of grief that comes with that.
Was it more jealousy?
Mm, no, it wasn't it. I just feel like timing. Just feel like timing. People outgrow each other, and it's always weird when you outgrow someone in close proximity. It's like, when did it happen? So
So your plans for the future, would you want to get married or is that
absolutely,
something down your list? Okay.
absolutely,
Okay. Okay. Like for sure.
for
You're
certain.
trying to push 30 like your parents?
Say it again.
You're trying to push 30 like your parents?
Yeah,
That's a lot of years. And
that is
that's one
that
person
is one person
that for 30 years.
yeah.
You do realize like
That's a long
some people don't
time.
even live 30 years
That is that's a good point.
with one person.
That's a good point.
Technology exists. Instagram exists.
Yes,
And you feel like you could do that?
absolutely.
I know I can't. 30
Well,
years.
30.
30 years.
What are you insinuating? What do you mean you
I
can't do it?
I couldn't do it. 30 years of marriage with one person, I couldn't do
Do you
it.
want to get married?
At this point, from what I've seen that's available,
I respect that. I respect it.
nah.
That's
Nah.
honest. I mean, that would be the like that's the goal. If that didn't happen, it's I'm not gonna slide down the wall, but that's something I would want. Yeah, I would love to have like children and just have a healthy marriage.
In a big family.
No, No.
You too
No,
busy
like
for that?
a calm two, like a calm
Calm
two
too. Okay.
kids.
Okay. I
Yeah.
mean, I figure you said 10. So what are you? What's your ethnicity? Are you
I'm Nigerian American.
okay? So you're Nigerian.
Yeah.
You speak both languages, just one.
I speak the second not fluently. Like there's some words I know, but English.
But you know enough to talk between your parents and know what they're saying.
I know enough to understand a few words.
All right, so I got so, when they get mad at you. What it's like? What was it like?
My dad's Nigerian. When my mom is Black American, so when my dad would get mad, it was. I mean, it's just like all right. It's like I hear you, dad, kind of thing. I'm just gonna go do my thing. Um, so I can't say I got the typical Nigerian father that you would
Mhm.
see in some of the movies and like the social media skits.
I had to ask.
Yeah,
It was just out of respect. You just gotta
not
ask.
the typical, but
Okay. Can you cook?
can you cook?
I could cook for me.
No, yeah, I can.
Why are you firing it back on me? This is literally
No,
your
what is it?
interview.
No, I can. Yeah, I can cook.
Okay, are you good?
I would say so. Yeah,
Like if you had to rate your cooking, what would it be?
I'd say a 7.
And you know how to cook like American food and Nigerian.
More American food than Nigerian.
Ah,
I gotta be honest with you.
okay. I mean, you you could learn though, right?
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
And you've never asked to.
No, my dad he's taught all of my siblings. Yeah, I think it's just a matter of actually doing it. I'm just like, yeah,
So you've learned it, you just don't remember.
I've learned it. I just haven't put it to practice.
All right. All right. Look, let's get that off of that. I'm sorry. Just was curious about the food situation.
No, you're good.
All right. So are you happy with how far you come? Or do you think that you want to go way further?
I would say I'm happy with it.
So you don't want way more?
That didn't seem honest, huh? No, I would say I am. I would love to like have more, but I'm very, very appreciative if for what I have.
All right. Here's my thing. I feel like I don't want to get, even if I do become big or successful, I don't want to be stagnant in that. So that's why I always feel like I'm always going to want more and more and more. But
Hmm.
the positive of that is like you just keep being successful, more successful, and it's guaranteed. But
Hmm.
there's a negative of that. You might not see your family as much. You might not see your friends as much. So is
Yeah.
that your reasoning for saying that? Is it just simply as like, I'm cool where I'm at. If it goes further, I'm cool with that too. I know that was a lot there, but
I think I would want it to go further, but I hope that I can learn how to balance beforehand. Just as you said, like with family and friends and making new experiences.
are you balancing that perfectly now?
Perfectly no.
Okay.
No.
What are you doing wrong?
Not taking enough time for myself.
Why are you getting such like simple answers? Like it's not more than that. Just not taking your time
Not
for
taking
yourself.
enough time for myself, not knowing when to rest.
Um,
Like I feel like grind culture just kind of really distorts your view of just what you've done, what you can do. So it's like, okay, well, let me get this done. Let me get this done. Let me do this. Let me do that. And it's like not knowing when to say you've done enough for now. So you can just take some time, you take a step away. I can't say I know how to do that right now.
well, I got a few more questions here for you. And then we're going to be done. I got you. I got you. So I'm curious on like where you've traveled and where you've been. So like you talk about some of those places.
Yeah, of course. I recently went to Boston with the Black Project. It was like my first business trip, which I was like really hype about. And that was for Juneteenth. And we did like a book drive and just like community based things. So
Mhm.
Boston was a really cool place to visit. New York for Fashion Week. And before I was in Hawaii and I was like modeling a little bit.
So you've traveled a lot.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's normal for you because you do know there's people that have not left Pittsburgh,
That is a really good that's a good point.
let alone
Yeah.
their hood.
Yeah. That is a good
And
point.
you're talking about you've been to Hawaii, Boston, New York. Any? What other places am I
New
missing? Some?
York. That's all right
I know
now.
I'm putting you on the spot, kinda right now.
No, you're fine. That's all right now. I want to go to LA because I've never been to LA. I would want to go there.
All right. Well, look. One thing I'm gonna say is, uh, you supported me, so I'm here to support you. Whenever you need anything posted, you can just send it to my DM. Of course, everybody knows my other account has more followers, but like, trust me, bro, people aren't active on there. They're not
They're
active
not
on there at
active.
all. You know, people just view your story, but if I was post
Yeah.
something, they're not really going to like it for real. So, where was I going with that? I lost my whole train of thought. Oh, we're coming on Pittsburgh Chatter. I'm gonna have to
Thank you
edit
for
so
having
much
me.
of this. Oh my god.